It is often said, charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting, and what matters the most is your inner disposition. With this foundation, what do you take in a relationship, and what we'll be talking and a lot more on today's live, coming to you live from Equa Television Africa. We're also on Facebook and we are also on YouTube. There you can drop your comments. I will take it live on the show. I have with me engineer Tony J. Nakali.
I'm happy to be here, Joyce.
And Sambo Solomon.
Thank you for having me.
And my name is Joyce Iyakwari. So we'll start with the discussion, and I would like to ask, what should people expect from a relationship based on character now? We're talking character, we're talking love, relationship, character. What should people expect, and what should they take in a relationship based on character?
Well, I would say expectation differs from a personality. And you go for something because already
did you notice Solo is thumping in with big words this day? I don't understand. Like he's like the other day he said one big one that I remember. Sorry for cutting you.
What do you expect when you are with the prof, when you talk about relationships?
I started working with Turaki.
I mean Tony Nakali.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Oh, your English is by association.
By association.
People have not laughed in a while. I think this is good for the morning. So.
Yes, great people around that you learn from, and it's a good thing. So you start by identifying what you want. Like, okay, this is the reason why I'm going into this particular relationship. And we established since from Monday the issue of positive and negative character. So you can't take it out. And then that is what drives motives. What are you expecting? Is it positive or negative? From who? All of these things matters. And then some people go into relationship for benefit. What they will get from that person. Is it a mentorship, which you are expecting that at the end of it there will be an exchange of ring? So looking at it, you have to define if it's marriage, for instance. You are looking for, even at that it varies, coming from different background, and then from where you're coming from, there's this particular thing that is being expected, like from the family cycle, from your immediate community. There are things that they expect. So all of these things influence what someone is expecting from somebody. That's
devoid of the personal expectations. That's the character. I asked this question because I want the question to lead us to another one, which is very deep. And most people, let me use the Nigerian setting, even the wider setting, most people their relationship goals are always very funny. They've tagged so many celebrities that are dating themselves, or they're in a relationship with themselves, and said, this is my relationship goal. This is what I want. Forgetting the character to look out for in a person. So many of these instances are out there. People don't go into a relationship with a purpose. They don't go into a relationship to define, okay, this is what I want, this is how I am. Don't forget that yesterday we had a very deep discussion about general relationship, where we brought in the even the love relationship, work relationship, and every other thing. Now, when you go into this relationship without defining or knowing even who you are, or knowing who the person that is asking you out, or the person that you feel some certain type of butterflies in your stomach for, you don't even know his character or her character. You just go based on, I want to be like Kim and Kanye, I want to be like, sorry, I'm calling these names on TV, but these are mostly people's relationship goals, because they are celebrities, they are put on TV, and they are always together, and we feel that's a perfect relationship. Even there are some that are evangelists, men of God and all, they have that certain relationship. I would say these are relationship goals because he's my spiritual father. This is what we want. these relationship goals that we say, some of them don't have purpose. Later we get so disappointed when they break up. We've heard of is it Devon and what's this lady's name? I don't know why I just skipped the name, but they wrote me there, they prayed together, but now they're separated. And the divorce came as a shocker to a lot of people. Then you wonder what really is wrong, and the people that have been saying these are their relationship goals and now say, why I'm so disappointed, I'm even heartbroken, because they were part of the relationship with them. And you forget that character also matter. What will keep you in that relationship? There is something that will definitely keep you in that relationship. Is the character. It can be general that yes, you might have the character, you might look out for whoever you want and all, but what does your character say in a relationship? And why should you look at, you know, all these wrong relationship goals for your own foundation? So this question is for the prof that you mentioned earlier.
When he comes, he will answer.
You know, the example you cited, it reminds me of someone you know, that he saw a family that spend like almost 30 years in 30 and more in marriage, and then anytime they are closing from church or they had any activities in church, this guy is admiring, and one day he walk onto her and then says, I want to have a wife like you. And she looked at him, then she said, let me tell you something. She said, my son, come. She told him that he should define the kind of wife that he wants by himself, not just looking at someone and he just say, this is the kind of wife that I have. Then she now end up inviting the person to their house, and then she explained how she has been a thorn to the husband for all these years that he is thinking, and
outside their relationship seems so perfect.
Yes, so she now told him that she make it up to the man, not up to a year that they just reconciled, because she was supposed to pick something, then she forgot. She did something to the man, and then when she came back and she met him kneeling down and then praying that God, please, he should help his wife not to miss heaven. When she came at the door, that's what she had. She just did something terrible to him, and when she went out, she came back and he was praying. So she now entered and then picked the thing. She couldn't go again. Then she now knelt down and she started crying. That's when she amen, and she started making up to him. And then he's saying he wants a wife like him. He said, this is just the period that this thing is happening, that made up. But all of this while, this is how I have been to this man. So based on what you established, people going for wrong reason, you just see people out there and then you just say this is it. At the end of it, you get frustrated when you get it, because you didn't set the goals of what exactly you want.
How many things do people know about what God says concerning relationships, concerning marriages, concerning all of that? How can you see two people playing out a script and you trust your life into that script? How come? Why? Where did they get the script from? All of the reality shows we see about people being in love and all of that is scripted. So that people, it's show business. It's not reality. It's show business. See what I pulled out a scripture while you were talking. I hate divorce. Hate, says the Lord God of Israel, and the one who is guilty of violence, says the Lord who rules over all. Pay attention to your conscience. That's what the Bible is saying. Now, if God says he hates divorce, a lot of people are going into marriages today, they don't care. They don't have information about what they are about to enter into. I met this girl, she's so pretty, she's so this, she's so that, I will never miss marrying this girl. Do whatever it takes, I will marry her. Blah 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 blah. That is just the reality of who she is. There is another reality I yet to face. the challenges that comes with being in love with her, you don't want to look at it. The challenges that comes with being in love with her, you don't want to look at it. What are the challenges? She will have needs. She will have hopes. She will have aspirations. She will have goals. More than all of this, she will have determinations. She will be determined to do certain things. These are the challenges that come along. These things are not seen, they are heard. The sum total of who Joyce is physically is what is seated there. Somebody is busy watching this girl on TV, admiring her. Woo, if I can get this, or if I can. The moment he comes into her life, he will just see one or two things and say, Maramari soldier, You saw the military, the way they are dressed, and you will be like, wow, I want to be in the military. Until they start taking you through the reality of their trainings. Until they kick you out of a flying airplane. It's part of their training.
Yes.
All we see is coming back from war, see them at this, and we celebrate. Hey, they are back. Sit down with them and talk. There are some things we'd like to overlook when we consider relationships, and unfortunately these days nobody wants to go into real relationship. Honestly, let's be very honest, nobody wants to go into real relationship. That's why you see lies in relationship. That's why you see people pretending to be in love in relationship. That's why you see people, because of the sense of being mutual with someone, you can't leave that atmosphere. When, as a matter of fact, you have left. A very long time ago, you have left. It's just your physical presence that is there, but you have left. So, if we are defining character in a relationship, the first point it starts with is honesty. Not to the next person, to yourself. Am I being honest about being into this relationship? If yes, why? Okay. Clear instance. You saw Joyce, you want to date Joyce, and you know that really you will marry her. Joyce is not aware that you will marry her. But the first point is, you are honest to yourself. If you are honest to yourself, you know you won't marry her. So you are looking for something that can last for a short while. How short? Maybe 3 months, maybe 2 months. Before that, your real girlfriend is back from camp. You're just looking for something. How can you be in Jos? Your girlfriend is in Zamfara. Who will go there? Let me just look for something. See, this can be a reason why you are in a relationship. Ladies, just wait. You just see somebody will send you a text or inbox you on any of the platforms and start talking you in, and you start falling in love over an electronic boyfriend. He's electronic. That's where you met. You know, the kind of relationship that without data, it cannot continue. Now, tell me of a truth, and this is not to say there are no relationships like that can be like favorable, and there's a lot of relationships that are this way, that are having kids and very productive, you know. But what we are saying is, how much information do you know about the guy? We are not even talking about his physical. We are talking about his nature. We are talking about his likes. We are talking about his dislikes. Will his likes and dislikes marry your likes and your dislikes before two of you come together to marry? It's the first point of being honest. It's the first point of being honest. Sometimes when I hear that people are in a relationship for 2-3 years, first question I ask is, what are they doing inside? Me, I am different. I don't stay too long. I don't know.
You know, the excuse they normally give is that, you know, even if you are pretending, you can't pretend for long. So
Says who?
2, 3.
Says who?
That's the common.
A lot of foolishness in the air. People tell you a man cannot hide his character for too long. He can, except he doesn't know what he wants. When people are looking for something, haven't you ever seen a thief that shocked you?
Countless times. So
this guy, more fear people. Somebody can scheme something that he wants to just speak for just 10 seconds. He can scheme it for 6 years. Except that thing is not priceless to him. So if we are talking about people being honest, having positive character in a relationship, character is not practicable. Honesty is. And honesty is a propelling force for character to stand. It is.
Yeah.
And how people are getting it wrong in this generation. I would like to take us back to how things used to be, how things were done then. I know my mom is always like to tell us this story. I think it's her favorite story. That's her love story, where it was my grandfather that saw her in his brother's house, like one of his brother's house. She used to stay with the brother. Then he was like, he likes her character, she should marry his son. So he came back home and told my father that he found a wife for him. She is this, you know, they always spell out the character of the girl. That's back then. More like she's homely, she
pack firewood for these people,
she fetches water, the house, the this, the that.
They don't know.
Then my father, you know, they will convince you to the extent that you can't even say it.
You even start getting happy. You know,
my father had to go meet her. Then he saw that she was a beautiful young lady. You know, beauty, first of all, the appearance, you know, that's what would trigger a man. Then later on, he started seeing the character. Then he was like, yes, this is the one he wants to marry. So they married. You see, based on character, based on my grandfather knowing her strengths, her character, how presentable and everything. But right now in this generation, it's like we, the young ones, are getting it wrong. Even our parents are getting it wrong in a way that they push us, go and marry. We are tired of you in this house. You just wake up, eat our food, go and marry. Before you know, out of maybe the hearing every day of go and marry, you start dancing to it by finding you a man. You know, anyone that comes, even there are times that they will even tell you he's not perfect, I will just manage him. And you'll be wondering, really, you want to go into this with your life just because there is pressure at home without even knowing the person's character? Like, more like, okay, bringing a stranger home just because, you know, there is a pressure. So I think this is one problem that we're having, that people just rush into a relationship to try. Yesterday you talked about trying. Let's try and see. At the end of the day, they get disappointed. At the end of the day, they give up some things just because the guy is promising them marriage, or the guy is promising them an exclusive kind of relationship. They give up a lot of things that they expect something different, even though they know this is the character of the person, but they keep praying for him to change, or they keep hoping for him to change, that even when you are advised, say no, you will manage. Then another instance is the one that I know there are most times, like, people will just tell me, Joyce, you should marry. I hope you are not selecting. I hope you are not too picky. And I'll say I am. Because I am. It's not like I'm perfect. I know my weaknesses. I don't want to be with the same person that has that. Just like you said, I want my character to marry with that person's character. I know what I want. Just because you want me to marry, or you feel, okay, I'm getting old. Like I always say, when I marry, will my age stop counting? Because if you say I'm getting old, I'm not married. If I marry, will it stop counting? So you have to analyze all this. Do you think, are you in the same opinion, like with the same opinion, that these are the ways we get it wrong from our parents, even our choices, and because of pressure, and because, okay, we feel we should just marry, devoid the person's character, we will manage. You know, we're always taught, especially African ladies, we're always taught patience, tolerance. Let's marry, let's manage. You are a woman, so you should, you know,
even if he slaps you, it's part of it. You see, Joyce, this is not the reason I don't know why I am always of a different opinion, and people see it as well. It doesn't matter how people see it, but that honestly, that is the truth. It starts with being who you are. It starts from that point. Who are you? Do you know there are people that will tell you, why are you doing things this way? This guy said he loves you. You don't. So what? He's not the only one. I didn't tell you the rest. There are 50 other people that told me, so I should marry just because you want me to. It starts with who you are. That's where it starts from. Who are you? The kind of a person that will hold on to his opinion, or the kind of person that will wait to be injected with an opinion from people. Just this morning, somebody told me something that, sir, we were talking about you. And we were discussing how that things don't bother you. Just this morning, today, I said, what happened? He said, we just sat and were saying, this thing will happen, and then you will just be this way. This thing will happen, you will just be this way. And then I said, you have heard me say several times that anything that you cannot change, don't let it disturb you. Anything you can't change, don't let it disturb you. Things have a way of coming from nowhere. They have a way of also looking for several ways to flee. When everything in life has an expiry date, that problem that you took, you are running, looking for any means necessary to deal with it. It's not that you dealt with it that the problem led. No, it was the date for the problem to leave. There are some things that will need your attention urgently. You have to attend to them. There are some things that you look at them like that, you let them, they will slide. What is the basic point? People are disturbing you. Go and get married. Won't you marry? What is happening? I tell guys that sometimes. I'll be like, this year, are we doing, like I told somebody recently, I said, I have been looking for an opportunity to come and talk with you. Me, you are the one that will give me wife with your hand. I say, me, he say, he is doing well. He's doing well. He's doing well. I say, look, my brother, don't you think you need Yache? Gaskia, sir, I need somebody, but I've been waiting for an opportunity. I need you to carry your hand and give me person. So if you are around me and you are single, come, let me carry you and give.
Spell out his character.
He is God-fearing. He is industrious. He has one of the biggest businesses in Jos, and then he is doing well. He is not a
big boy.
No, he doesn't care about that. He's rich. Somebody that has an investment that is over 20 million. He's not starting. You understand? So if you are watching this show, you can send the message to inbox. Let's get you. Let's do some outing.
With 2 passports.
With 2 passports.
So you see, you have to leave these people that are pushing you to something you are not ready for. Leave them out of your life, because once you tie that knot, they will go back to their own homes. You will go back to your own home. The day you call them to say, that problem doesn't answer. How can they deal with it? It's your marriage. Deal with your people pushed me. So wait till you feel it is time, regardless of what people say. Don't do your own things on people's time. Do your own thing, God's time.
God's time.
If you want to do it your time, ask God for the blessings upon your time. So I don't think when people are being pressurized to do something and they do it, I don't think it's from the pressure. No, it's from the decision they took to listen to people.
And when you establish that, I'm always on the opinion that yes, we for quite a long time, this part of the world, we got it right. It is now that information, I would say, is at almost everyone's disposal with the technology. So, and before now, what are parents looking out for? It's morals. Can we say today we have those morals? Yes, we do. But there are certain things that overtook that moral that were being known with then, that comfortably your grandfather can look out for a wife for his and, yes. And then we know of those stories because our parent told us, you know, like my mom, she has never met my father like anywhere, you understand, and they just brought her. Not until everything is being finalized, then she now discovered that her and her immediate elder sister are marrying in the same house. Yes, and already there's nothing they can do. So she have to stay, you know, and she gave us the story of how she stayed with my dad and the rest. So you see, yes, she didn't know him, but they brought her. There's this thing that they always tell them, okay, now that you are here, dole ne ki hakuri. Dole ne ki hakuri fa ki zauna da shi koya yake. Like you have to be patient with him regardless. So as they are giving birth, you know, their own children, they are transforming that. They're transferring rather
the idea,
the whole idea, because that's when they will tell you, this is how I stay with your father. This is how I forgetting that the world now has changed.
And so that's why we have these so many ills happening.
That is,
you won't know someone, you go with him, or you start tagging him, this is my boyfriend, and at the end of the day he will kill you. Because character, you didn't even analyze that. You don't even know anything about him. He just felt, this one is, you know, a good guy. He can buy me these things, you know, worldly things. I can be able to. And they forget that wealth is not transferable. Like, you can't get wealthy by being in a relationship with this person. It's not like automatically he will just carry the money and give you anything. No, there are things, and you find out that at the end of the day, girls are being killed for ritual purposes, like the stories that we've been hearing, and it has been happening in the country. Even though we're not talking, okay, which one is better? Like, okay, your parents bring in wives for you or whatsoever. We're analyzing what characters should we look out for when going into a love relationship. And love relationship here means between man and woman. We're not talking the other genders.
Okay, Joyce, you see, I'm coming to say that nowadays, what are we looking out for? Even the parents that you said, parents look out for good morals, standard from other homes, and they suggest. That's when then they will say, okay, where are you, who is the person? You said it's from so family, and they will say yes, go for it. We can't miss somebody from that family simply because already that family they have this
they are known for integrity. They are known for all that. But do you know? But
now what I'm trying to say, what are we looking out for? Even the parent, somebody that is wealthy. Somebody that will come with a car, and then you hear the parents saying, no, this guy is well-to-do. At least if you go there, you won't suffer. Who said that? So you even see how when I talk about the issue of morals, and we said it starts from the decision of who you are. Then if you talk about that, then that is where we are coming from. Somebody has to build your character, because you see someone as a mentor is either your father or somebody you grew with that grooms you. So automatically you will see that even the people that groom you to be who you are, they have a certain influence. Like I'm telling you right now, somebody is 40, but he is not at this disposal of this vital information that we are dishing out now. Now that somebody is watching, that's when he is like, so all these years, this is how now I am getting my track. It is now that people like that will start taking some decision while already based on how they are being groomed, feed with wrong information that they don't even know they are right, or this is what they are supposed to do even before going, and then already the wrong has been done. So it is now that they will start correcting all of this thing. What we are saying now, if you are with this information, I think it is very, very important to discover who you are. Like the issue of content that you always emphasize. You know, I know about content. Yes, I know about content, but there are different dimensions to how you will relate it to yourself, that it will make sense to every decision you are making, whether work, whether a love relationship between man and man, whether even the relationship in a marriage, or the different kind of relationship that we talk about, it starts from you. The content, what is the content, is that thing that makes you to be who you are, starting from home to school. So it is very, very key, it is very, very important that we should know character that you have. Yes, you may have been built around certain influence that
shaped you in a
certain way, but now you can correct it with all of this information.
To add to this,
yes,
you said, what are the things to look out for when going into a relationship? We can't say. What he's looking out for is different from what I'm looking out for.
Yes, she didn't know him.
You know, what he is looking out for is different from what I am looking out for. What you are looking out for in a man is different from what Martha is looking out for. Martha wants a man to just have money. That's all. That's what she wants. Then you ask Martha, what about days ahead that the money will go? I will leave him and look for another one. She doesn't care. That's what she wants. You see, today, the idea or the ideology behind marriage or love relationship has been reduced to nothing but sex. And that is why young girls don't care about marriage. They say, if this is all there is to it, why wouldn't I just be single and be getting it the way I want? Than to be tied down to a man and it becomes an institution for me. Yes, because you don't know that there are ladies. I'm not talking about loose girls, I'm talking about working class ladies. They sleep around with men that are not in their class of life. You hear that some girls are sleeping with security men, some girls are sleeping with their office assistants, some girls are sleeping with cleaners, some girls are. It's not a love relationship. It's not. One time I was in precisely in Gombe, and I'm sure that this story is familiar to one woman that is watching now, because she doesn't miss today's life. I was in their house. Her husband is my friend, though he's younger than me, and then he said we should visit a doctor. So we went to the doctor's place. He has a clinic. So we drove there, got there, and saw him. Very brilliant guy, educated, but he smokes Indian hemp. He's on every kind of drug, but he's a medical doctor. So that night, a lady was there with him, because I met him for the first time. So the lady was there with him. And then before we knew it, we left the place, and then the lady was calling. She called my friend and said, please come and take me, please come and pick me, please come and pick me. He now said, she was crying, she was shouting, help me, help me. He now ended the call and we drove home. He told his wife, go and rescue. I was like, is that not the person that was looking for help? He said, who is the person? He said, the person that we saw with Dr. XYZ. So I said, so is he doing surgery for her without anesthesia? He said, no, that's how he beats her. Like he will, and she's a girlfriend. She's not married to him. That is how he will beat her and beat her and beat her. He has bet her one time. He beat her one time. She was not awake for 3 days. And she woke up and started calling his name. So I will let you know why I told you this. And this is not to be vulgar on TV, but is to help somebody realize that you don't have to stay with an idiot at the expense of your health, at the expense of your comfort, at the expense of your freedom. You don't have to. They brought her to the house. Finally, at about past 12, that's morning, they brought her to the house. Ice block, and her lip was torn. Her eye was swollen. He busted her eye. Just beating. With what? With the heel of his shoes.
Wow.
Left, right, center. Run! She stayed. So she now called. The woman went that night, picked her up. It's a short distance. Brought her home. That's what she was saying. So I told her, I said, what are you doing with a beast like that? I heard that this is not the first time. This is not the... What are you doing with a beast like that? You have been in a relationship, they said, about 7 years. And yes, since she was in school. A graduate, a working class girl. I think she was a banker then. Said, this guy has been treating you this way. You know what she said? She said, the first week we met, he beat me.
First week?
They have not started the relationship. He was doing his, is it housemanship, doctors call it? Your internship, something like that.
Housemanship.
Yeah, housemanship. He beat her the first week. So I said, and this thing is continued. She said yes. So I said, why in the world would you live with danger? She said to me, with one eye was closed. She was looking at me with one eye. She doesn't even know me. She called me uncle. She said, uncle, nobody makes love to me like this man. So I told her, I said, love making is what is giving you this thing. She said yes. Do you know what? Before we woke up in the morning, 4 a.m., she sneaked out of the house and went to his hospital, to his place in the clinic. And he was there, and she told him what I said, that I said she should leave him, and he came to the house to fight me. So look at how somebody will carry your treasured life and keep it in a place that is undeserving of you. And it's not like you don't know that this is not a safe zone for me. You are well informed. With the blows, with the kicks and everything on you, you are well informed that this is not the man for me, even if he gives you the world. How can you reduce your happiness to a body part? It's true. The sanity of your heart should not matter more than that, more than your emotions. The guy came to fight in the morning. So I'm just trying. I gave that long illustration to let you know that there are people that are foolishly in stuff because of foolish things. Two foolishness in one thing. You are foolishly in a stuff because of one foolish thing. Don't misunderstand me. You cannot. There's no relationship that is void of issues. You know, you will have issues. In fact, Apostle Paul said, they that want to marry, they that are married will have troubles. But it doesn't mean that one trouble, she packs bag, you pack, go to your house. So who will stay in the house that you are renting, or you are paying, or you have built? You have to sit down and amicably resolve things. At the level of that relationship, this girl, the first week, they have not started, they just liked each other. He bet her.
This is a problem of self-esteem.
So yeah, that's a good English.
I'm accepting you for who you are.
Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Martha has noted that. You see, Joyce, we should be honest. You have to call a spade what it is. You cannot just base your comfort or give somebody your life that will not protect it. Is one of the first criteria for a lady to be in a relationship. Can this man protect me? We are not talking about Fulani headsmen coming and he say go in front. No, there are different ways a lady can be protected.
True.
When you buy things for a woman, it's protection for her. It can be protection against her skin. It can be protection against her hair. She just have to have that sense of being protected. So ladies, look at not really spending. When you give money to a lady, she doesn't see you as a giver. She sees you as a carer. Somebody who cares about me. Somebody who... So love these days, we just bring it down to... We have dragged love to the mud. And the meaning. We bring it down to... Where are you? I'm home. Are you feeling like... yes, so come and get me. That's all. What do you feel like doing today? Is that fish there I want? That's all. Where do you feel like going today? I feel like should just be at home. Okay, I'm coming. That is all. It revolves around that. Nothing productive. When you met the girl, ask her at least, where do you want to go to in life? University, I did 6 years. I studied this. I finished. Now you are at home. What do you want to do? There is one container. I'm waiting for the owner to come. There's a small container. I want to start selling like a recharge card and phone. After spending 6 years in the university, okay, that small container, what do you want to make out of it? Do you have a dream of one day owning a telecoms company, or you just want to sell chargers for the rest of your life? She'll be like, there's money in that business, but the next 20 years that business will not be. Then you should know that there is a threshold within her thinking. But when she sits down and says, this is, you see, I studied law. I don't want to practice in the court. I want to have a firm. I want to do it this way. I want to approach my law this way. I want to approach my legal business this way, this way, this way. That way I can create time for my this. You know that this is a woman that has plans.
But most men are scared of such a woman.
Of course, because he is beneath such reasonings. He would be afraid. Because look at it.
It's not supposed to be in your life.
That's the point. When you start telling somebody like things like that, when they run away, that means God has saved your life. Because you come and find out that you are the one paying fees. You are the one fueling his car.
That's right.
You are the one doing all of these things, and he will still not be faithful to you at the end. Because people will tell you, what can she offer? So you will talk him into marrying you. He will marry you, but his mind is with the girls in Angwa. So you are home, he'll be following them. See, the law in this life is what you put in that comes back to you. It's what you do not be deceived. Whatever a man soweth in his heart, that is what he will reap. So when yesterday I talked about eagles and pigeons, if you notice that you are an eagle in the relationship, drop that chicken dinner, sir. It's not yours. When you sit down and you hear a man saying, wow, all right, me, because ladies will ask, okay, you ask me, so what about you? They will ask. When he starts telling you, he say, you know, there's money in transport business. I've spoken to my uncle. He has this car he's not using. I want to be doing Bukuru terminus. That's fine for a start. But find out what else. Because I will always say, what can you do now? It's not enough. What else can you do? What else can you do? Okay, you are a we look down on businesses these days. Uber is taxi. Bukuru terminus is taxi, but they are at different levels of transport business. They are different levels. So when you start listening, and then you ask him, so how do you want to measure up? Should I get to that level that I'm saying? How would you want to measure up in a way that I would really look up to you? Like, you'd be like, see, I am hoping that with that, the first 2 years I will gather experience. After I gather experience, I'll look for an application to start running. I will do this. Then you know that are antecedents. There are antecedents. There can be proceeds from what he's reasoning right now. Then you can help him Don't see him as that guy that is into shuttle business. See him as that big CEO. When you see him that way, you relate to him that way. Even when he's driving taxis, you come back home, you sit down, you gist, how did it go today and all of that. Wow, you made this money. That means that dream of doing that in his dream. If you save this and do this, yeah, that's what I want to do. Then he would want to have conversation with you. But when he comes back, you are like, Oga, with all this sweat, go and bath before you sit on this chair and do all this. No, it's a bad character. But you see, we are talking, and Joyce is saying some men run when they hear that. It's good. Thank God when they run. When they stay, there is a problem. Because you will marry a liability. It's actually liability.
Yeah,
we need to laugh on the show. Come on, we are talking about love. We need to laugh on the show.
There are cases that many men can talk a good game. Then the delivery is always very...
You will see. Somebody that wants to be maybe like an Uber CEO, for instance, and then he is using like 80% of the time you are with him talking about football. He has lost it. He has lost it. When he makes phone calls, Chelsea is playing today. Me, I'm already in this. I'm with my lady now. We are waiting to watch. You guys should come. He doesn't talk anything about what his dream that he told you was. He's not ready for it. Because look at people like us. We live this business. We drink this business. We eat this business. We talk it. We sleep it. We wake it. Everything we do is about this business. If I start telling you that I'm a realtor in real life, but this is what I just chose to do by the side, it's not believable. Because my actions are not matching my words. And yesterday I said something on the show. When I come to you, I will tell you words. They will be what will draw you or endear you to me. Yes. And then next is the character that will prove these words right or wrong. So it's the same thing with knowing who a career or a business or whatever a man wants to do. He cannot hide for a while. It will tell him even his steps. Everything he does will be in line. His conversations, everything you would hear when you are with the person. One time I closed from work. And then I stopped at one of my very favorite restaurants to eat. Sometimes I'll call them and, Madam, warm draw soup, I'm coming, So when I got in there, I sat. This guy came in. He was looking like somebody, like a laborer who just closed from work and all of that. So he ordered food. They brought him food. So he kept his phone on the table. He was about to start eating the food. His phone rang. He didn't pick the call. He continued eating. Then his phone rang. Then he said, please, I'm eating. When I get home, I will shower. Then I will call you. Sounded like a lady. Then the next call that came halfway through his meal, a call came in. And then he answered the call and he pressed speaker. His chair was here. There was a chair here. There was a chair here. There was a chair here. Then my chair was behind him, so we were backing each other. And then they called him to say that it was an upstairs they were building. The guy is a building engineer. Then they told him that the decking they did for the floor going up, that it all, like, I don't know. I turned, I looked at this guy, and then he put the call back through. This guy stood up. He didn't wash his hand. He started leaving. I said, my brother, come. Please, I heard your conversation. Come. I said, sit down. Wash your hand. Finish this food. I told him, finish this food. Don't let it disturb you. Finish this food. He said, sir, this is the second house I'm building for this man. And it's a big project. I am a building engineer. I finished from UJ. I want to make this man happy with me. He's a rich man. He said this. I said, what you should sit down and be doing while you are eating is to think how you got it wrong. They told you that the whole thing fell down. Where did you get it wrong? Is it possible to do it without falling down? He said yes. I said, so how did you get it wrong? I was talking, this guy started eating. And he finished his food. And then he said, Kaisa, I would like to have your number. You are the kind of people I should have in my life. See, now, if I would have just gone, start doing a bad driving because of what is happening. I said, whatever you do, even if you do a bad driving, you cannot undo this. There's no control Z for real life. There's no control Z for real life. Eat your food. Finish the food. Drive well to the place. Say, your laborer said they are still at the site. Go back and see what happened. So I gave the guy my number. We spoke just once, and unfortunately I didn't save his number. So he called me the next day. He said that the man came, his wife came in the morning, so she called the man. The man came and saw it, and he said that there is no way this guy will cheat him, that is somebody that made that mistake. He told the wife in his presence, say, the house we live in, this boy built it. The boy is not 30 yet. He said, this boy built it. He said, I have confidence. He said, everything that spoiled, tell me how much. He told him, the man sent the money that day, the owner of the house. He said, you are not an irresponsible person. The guy told me something. He said, sir, and I drink, I do this, but see what happened to me. I said, what has that got to do with anything? You are honest in the first building, and that is why this man, if you had problems in the previous building, you wouldn't even have this contract.
True. Integrity.
Integrity.
And unfortunately, I didn't save the guy's number. He never called back, or he's one of the multiple calls I'm missing. I don't know. But look at what happened, what transpired. He would have left that food. Maybe he would have even forgotten where his car was parked and cross road and get hit by a car and something. But people have to sit down. You know, be calm in every situation first. Then you think of what to do. When we enter a relationship, because of how much we want the girl or the guy to love us, we lie. It's just a negative energy you are introducing to something that is new.
That's the foundation.
The same with that building. Maybe if that guy stayed, monitored everything, the quantity of sand, the quantity of supervised, maybe he was running up and down checking other things, and he felt these guys know what to do. Brothers, we have to be in charge. We have to be in control. Even when you are married, there are men today that they just seem tough outside, but your wife calls you, you start running helter-skelter. That is not God's original idea. The original idea of God is for a man to be in charge. God puts you there to be in charge, not the woman. The woman has no right to make certain decisions. You make the decisions as a man. She will follow and embellish it as the woman that she is. But sometimes when you talk, people say, no, the woman has equal rights. We are in this together. The two shall become one. The two shall become one, but the Bible says the man is the head.
The two shall become one. The question is, in what context?
This is the context, sir. You drive. You drive. I drive. Does your car have a steering wheel?
It does.
Where can you go without it? Nowhere, sir. But it's all the car. So the day the seat say, I will not be in this car, we can go to the boot. There is no part of the car that is more important than the steering wheel, not even the brakes. Would you rather that your steering wheel fails and the car leads you to any direction, or the brake fails and you can control the car to a direction of your choice? So when the Bible says that the man is the head, he's the propelling force behind the marriage. You are in the marriage like any other accessory in the car. You are important. But some people say you are equally as important as the man. That is not true. If you are equally, the Bible will not call the man the head. So when you start running helter-skelter, because your wife said, anytime I call you, you choose work over me, you will not do this. Okay, I will sleep in the parlor today. Hey, uncle is in trouble. There is a place for that. When you go home, you talk to your woman. You let her know that this work, there is priority on top of it, because for now it is our source of everything. Just because I come home late from work does not mean I love you any less. It doesn't. There are even days I stay with you in this house from morning to night. I don't get a thank you card. So go back to thinking about the days that I've been a useful husband to you. Appreciate me. Don't just look for the days that I'm a terrible. It's also character in a love relationship. So women should consider men the same way men are considering women, and all of that. You know,
we've talked so deep about the men. I just want us to briefly talk about to the young ladies out there, because most times they think because they are pretty, that's all they get to offer in a relationship, and they don't work on their character. You see someone with a nasty character, or someone that doesn't even know who she is at all, and she goes into a relationship or a marriage because she's all pretty. Briefly, I just wanted to talk to someone like that.
There's actually no time, and we need to round up the show. But let me just say this: don't live your life based on how people told you life is lived. Everything you want to know is wrapped up in God's word. The Bible talks about a virtuous woman in the book of Proverbs. If you are trying to be anything less than that, you will have troubles. So don't say whatever you do, a man will cheat. Whatever, you are borrowing what people are saying, and then you are bringing into your life in anticipation. Then when something like that happens to you, say, I said it. Men are all like that. No. But what do you want your man made up of? Instead of jumping from one man to the other, driver is talking nonsense about you, security man is talking nonsense about you, this one is talking. Men that don't even, they shouldn't come close to your dwelling. They are the ones around, spreading you to the other conductors and all of that. It's wrong. You should be a woman of charisma. That when a man is looking for a woman, he shouldn't come your direction because he knows you are not a match. So you grow yourself to that level. Be the woman of your own dream. Then it will attract the man that will fit in positively.
Very true, Solo.
Yeah, I would say always make your spiritual antenna on. Be sensitive, because out there are deceits, there are so many things out there. Once you're able to define that, then you will know people to work with. And even if someone is coming with deceit, your antenna can dictate, and you can easily set that person apart, and then you continue with your life.
All right, thank you very much for doing this show with me. It has been today's live on Equa Television Africa, and we have to go. We'll be coming back with fresh topic on Monday so that we can discuss it. And thank you very much for joining us throughout this week. It has been character on today's live. We just want to appreciate the Equa Executive for this platform given to us to showcase and even broadcast the word of God through the viewers. I just want to leave you with this word that back in the days, beauty can be everything you can provide to the other partner as a woman, but the breaking news now is you have to work on your character so that you can be something, you can be great, you can give into the relationship when you find yourself. My name is Joyce Yakwari. See you next time. Bye.